Hi everyone, welcome. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that all of us are born whole and complete because of our conditioning, because of the way we were raised, the culture in which we were born, the family traditions into which we were born. We are at some point or another become traumatized. So until recently, we understood that trauma is something with, as we call capital T trauma, which is something major like wars or an accident or death. However, in the latest research, we understand that trauma is actually all kinds of events, including inability of our caregivers to be present for us, present in a way where they are attuned to us mentally and emotionally. So a child who didn't have a parent who was mentally present or emotionally present wasn't able to complete their emotional development. So because as a result of this post-traumatic stress disorder, we go through life in a way that is constricted, keeping ourselves small, fearing of future wounding, rewounding, and afraid to be expansive because we think that we're not adequate. We are not aware that we can handle anything. Because as children, we really were dependent on other people. We were dependent on grown-ups. We were dependent on caregivers for everything. So it's an incredible state of helplessness. The problem is that when we are adults, we are no longer those helpless people. We can survive on our own, and we have all the resources within us that can help us either deal with whatever arises on our own or ask for help either from professionals or from people in our lives with whom we're intimate or close. The problem is that because we're in this constricted space and because we become fearful of other people or the potential of being hurt, we aren't even able to ask for help. So we go through life expecting out of our relationships that they owe us something, that they are obliged to behave a certain way or to be a certain way for us to feel safe so that we can finally open up and be vulnerable. But the thing is that it's not going to come from outside. This is where I am a relatively lonely voice in this relationship advice space, because so much of our expectations and so much of our current advice about relationships talks about how the others need to fulfill our needs. And I disagree. Not to say that there isn't space for communication and there isn't space for displaying our needs and ask for what we need. But what I'm saying is that the goal, if there is a goal, we're just flowing into this in this life, trying to learn from circumstances and people that come in and out of our lives. But the goal is to become complete again. That completeness, that wholeness that we were at birth. The goal is to regain that sense of wholeness and enoughness that we've lost during our formative years. And it's not the other people who are going to provide it for us. It's up to us to either ask for help from professionals or use our own tools. Today everything is accessible online. All kinds of material is for free. Even I share so much, including this video, for free. We have all the resources today to go and learn these skills on our own: emotional regulation, self-sufficiency. So this is what I wanted to make clear today, is that it is not up to the other to make us feel safe or to make us feel that we can trust them. It is up to us to complete our emotional development and then go into relationships from that space of completeness And none of us have gained that space, although many of us are now waking up and trying to regain the lost sense of wholeness. But of course, majority of us are still going through various stages of awakening, and still caught in that old way of codependency and feeling that other people need to behave a certain way for us to be able to feel safe. The point is to find inner resources to feel safe, to regain safety, to regain completeness, and then go into our relationships from that space of inherent safety, inherent wholeness, so that we can help others as well to wake up to their wounds and to understand that it is not up to us to heal their wounds. Yes, we can heal together. Yes, we can heal in our relationships. But relationships are also places where we were hurt. That's where our original wounds have come. And often our original wounds are even not from this lifetime, but we've inherited them from the families into which we are born. So the process is to find ways to come to completeness, and then enter our relationships from the space of independent, sovereign person. And it, of course, as I've repeated before, it doesn't mean that we don't need other people. We need other people. This is what so much of our pleasure and joy stems from. Other relationships, the relationships with other people, seeing how far we can go by opening our hearts, and the pleasure and the joy that we can get from interacting with others in vulnerability and expanded heart. So this is what I wanted to transmit today, that it's nobody's obligation, nobody's duty to complete us, to be parent substitute for us, that it is our own voyage here, our own journey to completeness, to wholeness, and it is just finding tools, whether for free or finding somebody who can help us get there. People like myself, for example, who have gone through this, are still going through this, and understand the resistance and the reluctance and the fears. So I hope that this is clear, and I will continue repeating these messages, but this is something that became available to me today, and I wanted to share. Thank you for listening. See you next time.